And welcome everybody to the Geek-Gaming.com Nintendo Switch conversation. I'm Dio.
And I'm Jay.
And we got with us Big Fern, Mr. Nando section himself on the big screen behind us. And we decided we're going to talk about some of the news and some of the info that's come out about the Nintendo Switch recently. We're big Nintendo fans here. We have been ever since we were little kids. And we're hoping that Nintendo pulls one out, but we're going to get into some of our thoughts on a lot of what was revealed, and I don't think we're too impressed. What do you think, gentlemen?
Sketchy, I gotta say about Nintendo. That was one lame presentation. So that uneasy feeling spread across all over the internet. Like you have people out there who are really like put down about it. Some of them are really hype. As yourself, well, you're in the middle. You want to right away run at Best Buy and go buy it, but that wasn't available. How about you, Nando?
Put it this way, there's two sides. There's a good, there's bad, but I see the potential, but...
That's just it. I think Nintendo's messaging for this whole presentation felt very off. And I don't know how much of that is necessarily the disconnect between us as a North American audience compared to what I'm thinking the Japanese head office thought would be, you know, a big hit.
We're damn yoga hosers.
So I'm not going to critique so much their presentation, so much as I'm going to critique the information that was put out. So let's get right to it. Some of the first information that we got from this reveal, this press conference, was the price point for the Nintendo Switch. It's $299.99 US, that's $399 Canadian. Comes with the console itself, or what they're calling the console, which is the main portable screen. The two Joy-Con controllers, left and right, which are the detachable controllers that you've seen in the presentation. The docking station, which is the home unit that it would then be charging in, and a grip controller, which is the, I don't know how else to put it, but the imitation controller that the Joy-Con slide into, if you don't go out and buy the Pro controller. Now,
where you perform docking.
Yes.
Right there.
Docking.
So, I don't know if I feel the price point is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I think they played it safe.
Yeah.
It was the expected amount. You don't necessarily want to price yourself out and make yourself seem like the cheap alternative.
And what do you think of the neon console?
The neon color scheme, not a big fan of it.
Me neither.
But I'm at least happy that they're offering a choice.
That's right.
In the sense that if you want a classic all gray, so it sort of matches in with the rest of your consoles at home or your entertainment center, it'll look good, look classy. If you want to add a little bit more of that, I guess to call it the Nintendo flair with the bright colors.
For kids, we didn't have a choice.
So I don't know. I'm sort of iffy about it. Here's where it falls down in ratings, as far as I'm concerned, is when it comes to the accessories themselves. Every company does this, from Microsoft to PlayStation to now Nintendo. Accessories are where they make all their money, especially on launch day. So
it's ridiculous. I'm looking at this and I'm like, no.
Their Pro controller is, let me double check the price US here, $69.99 US.
$89.99 Canadian.
Yeah,
That's
more expensive than the current Xbox One and PS4 controllers. I cannot justify that price.
What do you think, Nando? Are we crazy?
I'm listening.
Now, here's the thing. They say that the Pro controller, just like the Joy-Cons, will have motion controls, the HD Rumble feature, as well as built-in amiibo functionality if you're a fan of amiibos, which there are a ton of. I do not.
Presented.
I do
Just hit
not
the button.
Yeah, I do not blame them for being fans. I'm a big fan of the Disney Infinity
I don't know
stuff.
how that happened.
We have the Joy-Con controllers sold separately in a bundle, meaning a left and a right, for $80. They're sold individually for $49.99. Again, these are the US prices. So I think it's sort of dirty that they don't just offer a red colored one and a fully blue colored one, but they sell a mismatched one. So that if you want the matching set, you're forced to buy another.
Is there a price
the
difference
Joy-Cons.
with the colors? Because that would be dirty.
No, the
Okay, thank
colors
God.
are all the same.
No, actually, no. Is it? Oh, no, they are the same.
So
Oof.
they're a little dirty there in the sense that if you want all red, it's not cool. They also have, if you scroll back up, the charging grip, because the one that it comes with doesn't charge the Joy-Con controllers. They will only charge when they're put on the side of the console itself, which is in the docking station getting a charge. So that's $30 more again. I don't like it at all. I mean, it's just dirty business practices.
It's Nintendo's marketing gimmick. They've been doing it for years. They're pros.
It's not Nintendo, Jay, and you know it's been Xbox and PlayStation just as much.
your name right here. Give me your soul.
So,
it's over.
Again, I'm not necessarily pointing the finger at Nintendo. I'm just saying it's a trend in gaming that I do not like. The one upside, as far as accessories goes, is the console dock set itself. They sell that individually for $90. Meaning, if you're a multi-TV household, you could literally take your game from one room to the other without interruption, so that someone else can, let's say, use the living room television, or if you have a TV in your bedroom, you take it there. An interesting thought that we had, as we were discussing this a little bit earlier, is the idea of, let's say I buy a Switch, but Jay here isn't ready to invest that much just yet. But he wants to try my Switch out. I pass by his place all the time. This is where we record Select Start. So I spend enough time here that maybe he'd be willing to, let's say, split the cost of an extra dock set, have that installed at his place, so that way, what happens when I come over, hey, you want to play some Switch? Bang! I plug in my console into his dock and it's automatically working. I think that could be a really, really cool concept if utilized right between friends that sort of trust each other and willing to make that kind of investment. You know what I mean?
That sounds so wrong.
Connecting to my dock.
Exactly.
No, actually, I was checking, and I don't know if we're in the specifications of the console, and since we're talking about the accessories, I noticed that in the back there's a USB 3.0 port, just to let you know right in advance, and two USB ports up in front that are 2.0, which is very interesting due to the lack of not having an Ethernet connection on it, but yet you still have an availability of connecting a USB adapter, Ethernet adapter to it, if you want more. But again, they should have incorporated that instead of adding like a connector that would probably save an extra wire just hanging out.
That's right.
That's very interesting here.
Here's something, let's talk about some of the concepts that are actually in the Switch itself, because they have come out a little bit with it. The screen itself is going to be a touch screen, which I find really cool. And it's the type of touchscreen that's similar to what you would find in, let's say, your Samsung, your iPhones nowadays. So I think it could be really, really interesting. I love the fact that they're going back to the idea of game cards, meaning memory, because you got to think nowadays the cost of a 64 gigabyte, little memory stick is nothing, exactly. And they can cram so much more on those little memory cards than they could ever on a Blu-ray even nowadays.
Yeah.
So I think this is a trend in the right direction as far as games are concerned. You gotta think too, it's gonna probably cut down on a lot of loading time because you don't have moving parts.
That's right. And I think it's pretty cool that they're going back to the game card. It's fun to have something like I just hope when you get a package, it comes to you with the catalog and all that stuff. You know, it makes you feel like you're purchasing something that's worth that money that you just gave these people. You know,
with manuals and stuff. That's quite interesting.
like that's the only thing that I have a problem with digital copies. You know, you go out and you buy a digital copy, but you get nothing in return. Like for you, you don't mind, whatever. It'd be cool, like to have that booklet, that box, that everything. I'm kind of that person that likes to collect stuff, paraphernalia. I love that stuff. I don't know, for you, it's the same thing, Nando.
Yeah. When you collect, you always want to have that extra booklets, and I believe that.
Yeah.
Regards to the cartridges, I don't know how big those cartridges are. Is it the did they show up what it looks like?
Yeah. On the Nintendo Switch site itself, in their features, they actually do talk a little bit about it. As they show a picture of at least what I think it looks like. I mean, it looks like the card itself is what they're going to be sliding into the machine.
It looks like an old GameCube memory cartridge. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Much smaller, obviously, not as thick. It's not like it's housing. It's not a case. It's not a housing case. But it looks like a slightly larger SD card, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like an SD card. It's like a Nintendo 3DS cartridge.
Yeah. A slightly bigger, but the same concept, exactly.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
See, it's right. Looks like a little scan disc game card.
So,
Okay.
let's talk about something else too, because there's something that I think got sort of lost in translation, was these features versus what I think the press conference chose to focus on, which is the Joy-Con itself. I think instead of presenting what the console itself, meaning the main machine itself, is capable of, and what the docking station was going to be used for, as far as like how that functioned, what kind of power you could get from it, they focused more on the Joy-Con accessories, because I think they took the wrong lesson from the Wii, and they're trying to present these Joy-Con controllers as the new Wii controllers, the new Wiimotes, where they're trying to make them wireless nunchucks, which is something they didn't have back in the day. And I think by focusing too much on the Joy-Cons, they neglected presenting the console itself, which is what I think they really needed to do in order to grab gamers, aside from their game lineup, which we will discuss next time on part 2 of our discussion. We hope you guys join us for that next time.